or welcome back to the film and TV channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. We have a film today. It's not a new film. It's been out for a little while. I think you can actually buy it on Amazon for less than £5 now. It's been out for 6 or 7 months as I'm recording this. And yeah, it's called Brighton. Yeah, so we're going to have a look at that today. Just a couple of things before we talk about that. We are monetized now, guys, so if you can watch any of the ads or follow any of the links, if something interests you, that'd be great. It helps the channel going forward on monetization terms, so if you can do that for me, that'd be great. If you just press that skip button when you can, just press the skip button there. That's absolutely fine, but I say it will help me out if you do follow any links or look at stuff. And yeah, I just got a dental problem, chipped tooth at the moment. So bear if you sort of, I'm sure you don't look at my mouth while I'm talking. Obviously, you've been doing other things and just listening. But yeah, please forgive my goofy appearance at the moment. It will be sorted, but my apologies. I'm conscious of it. That's why I mention it. It's just how I am. That's how I am. Yeah, Brighton. Let's talk about Brighton. Let's forget that. 15 certificate, 91 minutes. I watched this on Amazon Prime on the 13th of January 2022. It stars Larry Lamb. Yeah, back in the day, I sold a couple of DVDs to Larry Lamb. I can't remember which ones they were now. I don't think he was in them, to be honest with you, but it wouldn't have surprised me. Marion Bailey, Philip Davis and Leslie Sharp. They're the main 4 protagonists. There's some other guys in it as well. And they play Derek, Dina, Dave and Doreen. There, there's a good old-fashioned name, Doreen. 2 retired working-class couples return to the seaside resort of Brighton after an absence of 40 years in an uproarious attempt, okay, their words, not mine, to relive their youth. Flashbacks to the 50s reveal teenage Derek and Dave as a couple of lively Cockney chancers. Yeah, I think it's 50s into the 60s, I would have thought, because obviously they still wore that garb in the 60s, didn't they? Out to pull as many girls as they can over the weekend, and Dina and Doreen, down from London and enjoying independence for the very first time in their lives, strolling the promenade in the new millennium. The aged couples present a grotesque reflection of their heady rock and roll years as they struggle to come to terms with the changes in society and themselves. Phil Hold of The Garage, and he didn't like it very much. He wrote this grotesque query, that's how he's wrote, that's the word, I've never heard of that word, is undeniably a great British tradition, but it's hard to know who would revel in these caricatures today. Yeah, I'd have to agree. Internet Movie Database, we're going to have some comments on there in a moment. It's only getting 5 out of 10. As I said, it has been out a while, so there's not a lot of people who have watched it. 85 people have even bothered to leave a score or a review on it. And of that to 85, I ignore the 10s, 10 out of 10s and 1 out of 10s, which there are a few. But 28 people scored it between 6 and 9, and 32, slightly more, scored it between 2 and 5. So it's in the negative, which probably brings it down to that 5 out of 10. Some of the comments on Internet Movie Database from the guys who've left reviews. An infantile script directed with no skill, cliched, ignorant and distasteful. The gay characters are so one-dimensional, it's insulting. What were they doing? Awful film. Someone else watched half an hour and then had to leave the cinema. A shockingly bad script full of prejudicial and stereotypical drivel in just half an hour. No actors could rescue such a bad script. And finally, someone else, a day trip to the seaside with fond memories of Brighton years ago. What could possibly go wrong? Answer, almost everything, as the main characters try in vain to recapture old memories, beautifully directed by Stephen Cookson, this is a positive, who also wrote the story, which goes a full circle for one character and ends unexpectedly happily. I enjoyed this film so much, superb acting by all 4 leads, well done cast and crew. Yeah, I didn't think there's anything wrong with the acting, I thought the acting was fine. My little thoughts, as I say, we're not going to dwell too long on this one today because I'm totally confused, to be honest with you. It did have a stage-like feel. I think it was originally written for the stage as a play. Quirky sometimes, very dark sometimes, and very hard to watch. So a bit of a mix of everything. Comedy drama, but say very dark comedy, very brutal, very just hard to watch. As I said, it is written as a play, so it does have that feel to it. So whether they made the right decision in bringing it to the screen, I'm not overly sure. I can totally understand the total dislike of this film. There is a lot of animosity towards it. And as I said, I'm very mixed. I mean, the racism and homophobia and bigoted actions on screen, it is never an easy watch. It's certainly not an easy watch with this. And it's strange. I mean, this was originally penned in 1991. But obviously this movie has been made to feel as though it's the early 2000s, so it's 2005 or something like that. So it is pushing it just a little bit, even for 1991, but trying to update it to 2005 is pushing it a little bit more beyond the realms, to be honest with you. It just adds to the bad taste and makes this all sort of feel even worse, to be honest with you. Yes, there's a moral to the story, and someone mentioned there a happy ending, didn't they? I suppose in the way there is, but perhaps there's so much has gone on before that. There's so much has gone on for the previous hour and 10 minutes or however long before we do get towards the last chapter of this film, that it really just sours it. It's all soured before we get to that sort of okay ending. It's all too little too late, in my opinion, to rest the film as far as the script is concerned. I did like some of the moments, some of the inane chat between the 2005 couples was funny. It made me squirm, but too much though for it me to totally like it. It did make me smile. It did make me laugh. But I say I was more incredulous at it rather than enjoying it. But obviously, it took more than reasonable. I enjoyed the actors, but it took a lot more than that to rescue this script. Unfortunately, it should have been perhaps released as a play back in 1991. A few dozen people perhaps watch it at a local playhouse and then forgotten. I think that was probably the best for this. I'm not too sure they should have released it as a movie, in all fairness. So as far as the rating's concerned, I'm not, as I say, there were elements of it I liked, but there's just so much I didn't like in it. So I'm not going to give it a rating. As I say, I'm just totally confused with this production, to be honest, and why it saw the light of day. I'm sure there's better scripts and better dramas and comedy dramas set British based that could be made with these actors as well. It's such a waste in a way, but there you go. I was a bit disappointed, but some people like it. But as I said, most people are sort of siding on my side that didn't rate it at all. Anyway, let me know what you think, guys. I say it's been out a while now. You may have watched it, you may not have watched it. You may just go and watch it now. But let me know what you think about this film, Brighton. As I said, it is available to buy. If you want to buy it, last time I looked at Amazon, which is one of the main sites. There are other websites, of course. It was less than a £5, so it'd be similar prices on places like eBay, etc. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. What are you going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So meet here again on the Film and TV channel. I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.